Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I've got I figured I would do this one as a little cautionary tale, because when I was looking through some of the totes from out in the backyard, and I found a lot of my older jerseys, I found one in particular that it's a something you don't really ever want to do when you're doing your jerseys. So this is kind of a little jersey care type video. But before I get into that, again, I'd like to welcome you all, and I'd like to welcome anybody new that's just tuning into the channel for the first time. If you are, hopefully you enjoy the video. If you do, hit that like button. The more the more times people hit the like button, it gets the channel out to people, and hopefully you enjoy the content well enough where you'll hit that subscribe button too. So that would be awesome. I would greatly appreciate it. You would be absolutely awesome. So, and again, if you like this particular video, check out some of the other videos on the channel. And anything hockey related, I love talking about jerseys, hockey news, basically anything hockey related. Like probably here in another week or so, somewhere in there, somewhere before probably before the end of the month, I plan on doing my little prediction videos. I'll do a prediction video for where each team is going to finish in their divisions. So that will be that should be hitting the channel. That'll be hitting the channel here probably in another couple of weeks. So look out for that. But for this one, as I was looking through some of my totes in the backyard, which I still have a good lot, that are in a couple of totes back there, I found one that I couldn't remember if I still had it, and fortunately I do, because we all talk, a lot of people wonder, how do you care for your jerseys? How do you wash them? How do you do whatever? And I've said kind of how I do mine, and I made sure, and I stress this highly, to never throw your jersey in the dryer. When you wash your jersey, when you get done washing them, put it on a hanger and hang it up. Because I learned this the hard way. And I did have it. I did still have it. I learned this the hard way. Probably another reason why I'm wearing this particular jersey. I got this jersey in probably would have been Christmas of '95, going into the 95-96 season. It's my Colorado Avalanche, the very first year. Now, as you may be able to tell, you might be able to tell, maybe not, but I put this in the dryer. You can tell kind of the logo it's bubbled up, but, and of course, you had this here, but if you look closely enough, you can see the logo had to be completely sewn back on. As you can see all the way down the bottom, the logo, literally, after coming out of the dryer, more than half of it, and you can still kind of see where it's, you can still kind of see where it's pulled away. It literally completely came unglued, and when it came out of the dryer, it was half off. It was peeled half off, and I was just like, oh. I was, that's where I learned the lesson to never throw it in the dryer. This was the one. This was the one that I threw in the dryer, and I learned never to do again. Because yeah, this whole logo. I mean, you can still kind of see also where it was glued. I mean, I don't know if you can see it really good there, but you can kind of see where the glue is. You can kind of see where the glue was, or how it was supposed to stick there. But the logo came. I mean, I took it out of the dryer, and the fact that it was half off. I was just like, oh. And I remember showing my mom, and because I didn't know at the time how it was necessarily done, and my mom at the time didn't really know a whole lot either, but we learned right then. When I went and I showed her that, and I showed her how the logo was half off, she was just like, oh no. And she ended up sending this or she gave it to a friend of hers that had a sewing machine, and I mean, it's not the zigzag stitching, it's just the normal sewing stitching back on there, but she had to lay the logo back down and get it about as close as you could get as to where it was, and had to sew around the edge of the whole thing because it was peeling off here. It was peeling off at the bottom down here. I mean, even then, you might still be able to see how it's still. I mean, this lifts up down here a little bit, and it was all lifted up. And the only reason that this logo is even still on here is because it had to be sewn back down, and that was because it came out of the dryer. As you can see, it's sewn. It's all sewn back down there, and there again, you can probably see a little better. So that's the result. That's the result of putting your jersey in the dryer. So that's why I always stress to never ever throw your jersey in the dryer. The neat thing too about this one, and this was some of the evolution of the CCM jerseys. You had the CCM logo they were putting down there, but they also decided they started putting the logo on the back down there. That I always thought was kind of cool. And even that is, no, I mean, granted, this is old, but even that is peeling off right there, as you can see. But this didn't peel off all the way. I mean, it peeled off a little bit down, a little bit right there, but it didn't peel off all the way, unlike the front. The front was bad. And yeah, this was the first year. This was the very first year. This is the more reddish avalanche color from the first year in 1996. So, but yeah, my mom had to send it to a friend of hers who had to sew it all back down. And ever since then, my mom made sure when they were washed, because we learned to wash them all in cold water. You wash them in cold water. You can use, you can either use, you can do them on a quick wash, or if your machine has delicates, you can do it on there. And sometimes you can do them on a permanent press setting on your washer. It always kind of depends on what your washing machine is. I've kind of learned throughout the years because some of the older washing machines, they just have the original settings, so you just kind of got to roll with it. Well, I've kind of learned with our washing machine that we have here, and some other people, you have the different settings that you can have. You can do the permanent press, you can put them on delicates, you can even do a 15-20 minute quick wash, which is good to do sometimes if you don't have a whole ton of time. But always cold water. You wash them all in cold water on those type of settings. If your machine has those, you can wash them on the original setting. if if your machine doesn't have the quick wash or the delicates or whatever. But always on cold water, and don't ever throw it in the dryer. Put them on a hanger and let them hang up. Just let them hang there. You can hang them in your bathroom. You can hang them, if you're in a house and you have a clothesline out back, take them outside and hang them on the clothesline. It's kind of what my mom started to do after, as washing jerseys. She'd hang them out on the clothesline, and they'd come in and they smell really nice, and they're like a nice fresh smell and everything, and you didn't have to worry about the logo coming off. In the dryer is when that logo came off, because it was perfectly fine. Nothing was peeled up. When I took it out of the washing machine, I threw that thing in the dryer. Not good. So that is the cautionary tale of why you never throw your jersey in the dryer. So kind of a PSA in a way for you jersey collectors, especially if you're new to the jersey collecting game and you're not sure how to care for them. Check this video out. I explain it to you exactly how you can do it, how you can wash them in cold water. You can use whatever detergent you want to use. You can use Gain, you can use New Era, OxyClean, whatever. Or if you belong to a place where you get like special type of detergent, which works pretty well, you can use that. But and like if you want to do like a spot clean on it, if you got a spot somewhere, you can get I've used the OxyClean spray. Comes in a spray bottle, and you can spray it on that spot, and that actually works pretty well. But so yeah, I mean, you can use pretty much whatever detergent you want to use. But and again, depending on what machine you have, you can do it on the original setting. But if you have a setting where you can do them on delicates or a quick wash, do that, because these can be kind of delicate. So when you wash it on delicates, it's not a very it's not a crazy spin cycle. It's not the machine takes pretty good care of them. So just again, when they get done, put them on a hanger, hang them up, let them air dry. It's the best way to go. Never throw them in the dryer. So that is the possibility of what can happen. You throw it in the dryer, you might take that thing out and you might have a logo that's half peeled off. So you definitely want to be careful, especially with your older jerseys. The older jerseys that are not already sewn around the edges, that's kind of what can happen. So just always be careful if you have older jerseys when you're laundering them. Don't ever throw them in the dryer. That's kind of that's my advice to all the jersey collectors out there. Just be very careful on how you're caring for them, and yeah, just never throw them in the dryer, because that ends up being the result. So let me know what you guys think. And you guys, have any of you guys ever thrown your jerseys in the dryer? And if you have, what's the result been? I'd love to know your guys' thoughts on that. I thank you guys for being here. And again, if you were new to the channel, hopefully you enjoyed the video. And if you did, hit like and subscribe. That would be absolutely incredible. And I'll see you guys again soon.